Let's get cracking. This is episode 19, and it's going to be an exciting one. While we don't necessarily want this channel to be turned into a review channel, unless people or companies start sending us stuff for free, by all means. Okay, but I don't have the money to start doing that, at least on a regular basis. I have a few things in the pipeline I'd like to review. But with that, Brent has a couple things that he's been playing with that he just got. Most of it is just to kind of get us up and running, to make this sound a little better. Easier things are for us, the less frustration it is, as well as the faster it is for us to edit. That's always a good plus for us. But that's going to be the scope of today. I'm Bryce. That's Brent. I probably should have said that first. This is Twins on Tech, episode 19. Brent, take it away. Let us know what you got and what you think of it.
Well, I got a couple things, all audio related. If you've been paying attention to the past, not you, of course, but others.
I don't pay attention at all. No.
Sure, he just edit it and send it on. My audio's been all over the place. Also, my video and my lighting, and apparently I'm a mess. But what I've been trying to do is kind of focus on one thing to get things tightened up, and then I'll work on the next. Like beforehand, we were talking about lighting and so forth. That's kind of another thing. I've got some lights here shining on me, but there's still shadows and blah, blah, blah. I'm in a tight space, so hopefully that can be adjusted as well. Anyway, as far as the sound goes, one of my first things that I attempted was I bought this lav mic. I think $8 or $9. We talked about it in one of the past videos. It worked really well. It has a TRRS connector. So I used this TRS adapter, plugged it into this, and then I plugged this directly into the Canon camera that I was using. I believe last week, the video that we shot, I was using the the iPad Pro. Mm-hmm. There's a slight cost difference there. And using Filmic Pro. I believe that's an accurate statement. And I'm trying to think what microphone. I believe it was this right here, the same. In between then and now, I believe I have blown this because I wasn't paying attention to what I was doing with another device that I'm about to talk about here in a few moments. But as far as audio pickup goes, I have two microphones now in front of me. One you may or may not be able to see depending on how Bryce crops this. It's right at the tip here. It's a Blue Yeti
I can move
microphone.
Around, I guess. Yeah.
Well, I could pick it up, but there's going to be audio from it. But either way, here we go. Whee! That's the Blue Yeti. You can do plenty of searches online for it. They're very popular microphones. They've been around for a while. They pick up very well. And the other one is this Neewer Neewer NW800 microphone. Now, there's a big difference between the two as far as cost goes. What I have noticed between the two, there's not a huge difference as far as sound goes. I do like my audio quality better on the Yeti. My voice sounds better, which probably means it doesn't actually sound like me for all I know. I have not done any tests with other people to listen to it. But it has 4 different settings on the back. I won't get into all of the details about the Blue Yeti because there's so many excellent reviews already out there about what they can do. Right now, they're both set to cardioid. This by default is cardioid. And this is it's set on that right now, but you can set it to stereo. You can set it to interview, so it'll be front and back. And then you can set it to turn on all microphones, so it'll be just kind of pick up everything in the room. And it is about, let's call it 1.5 feet from my face. And the Neewer right now is about 1 foot. And they're both picking up pretty well. We'll find out afterwards where things are clipped. I'm looking at the levels, and they don't look like they're clipping. The closest one might be this, as far as clipping goes.
Now, are you going to send me both audio files, or just whatever you feel is the best?
I can send you both, however you want to mess with it. What I'll roll into the video that I send you will be from probably the Neewer, because it is right now going into another product that we'll talk about later. And then being fed into the iPad Pro. And so Filmic Pro, which is the application that I'm using, is capturing the video and the audio from this Neewer NW800 microphone. I liked it very well. The package that I bought, one of the reasons why I bought it, by the way, $17.
Oh, wow.
It's a very good price on this. Right now I'm seeing them for about $19 without anything else. Maybe, I guess I got there at a great time. But either way, $20 isn't bad for this microphone. It's a very good microphone. Again, it's not brand new. A couple years old, probably been out there for a while. Replaces, I suppose, the NW700. But from some of the reviews that I've seen, they're very similar. The sound quality and the pickup and so forth. These are both front firing microphones. In other words, they stand up. You don't talk into the tops of them like I did the... here it is. What do you call this guy? The Rockville? Yeah, the Rockville microphone that I had been using. This is just a standard super cheap microphone that came with a kit. I think one of the earlier episodes we talked about all of this stuff, and you could just see it. You see it with the little blue air pop filter thing. You know, this is the one that came with the Neewer. I don't have it on right now, just merely because I like the looks of the silver and the orange. That's actually one of the reasons why I bought it. I like the orange. But anyway, it came with the microphone, of course, the air filter or the pop filter. It's not really a pop filter. There's another term. I'm forgetting it right now. And it also came with a cable. I'm not using that particular cable it came with. It is an XLR2 TRS. Yeah. So, no. Yes, TRS. So you can plug it directly into your camera. Again, with the setup I have right now, that cable would not work. So it is going XLR to XLR into a Saramonic Smart Rig 2, which I don't know if you want to talk about it with this episode or the next. We kind of started later than we had planned on it.
Yeah, let's do it on the next episode.
Okay, so in either case, with this microphone by itself, the Neewer NW800, I really have liked it better than the Rockville. But I can't say that the Rockville was the problem that I was having. What I've noticed since then was both as far as the headphones and recordings using the mixer that I have, which is a Behringer 1202 FX, I believe, and bypassing the mixer just into the computer, I believe HP computer. It's about a year old or so. There's some feedback that I'm getting, a fair amount of feedback. And so
feedback or static?
Static. Okay. And not even really static, a buzz sound. And I was getting it also when I plugged it. May very well be the Blue Yeti is a USB microphone. There's no other ports with the exception of a headphone jack where you can listen to monitor yourself.
Oh, you can monitor. Okay.
Yes, and it, by the way, sounds great when you do that. And that's where one of the areas where I noticed, hey, I think the issue may be in this thing. When I plug the USB into the computer, the HP computer, I get that buzz. You know, you kind of start recording, you pause for a little bit to get some background noise just in case there's whatever you can remove later. So I did that, and in all cases there was a buzz or a hum. Not the type of hum you get from an air conditioner, which a lot of my videos have had that I've tried to take out. I've got it turned off right now, so hopefully we won't have too much background noise. So was always something. But when I unplugged the headphones from the computer and I plugged them into the bottom of the Blue Yeti and monitored it directly from there, in both ways, listening to what I sound like there, which is hard to do because, this reaches the ears pretty quick, even though you have headphones on. But I would record it, and then I would listen to it back because it'll act as a sound card.
Right.
And there was no hum when I would listen to it back. Or buzz, or again, however you want to refer to it. But I was still getting it plugged directly into the computer. That's in the front port. There's an audio jack in the back as well. I have not tested it with that.
Now, just a super quick question on the HP. Does it have the mic in and a separate line in and then the line out for headphones? Or is it just the two for headphones and then mic/line in? Or is it just the one that does all three and the software switches it?
The one that I've been using is, well, when I say been using, the one that I've been for headphones is a combination jack. It's on top like a lot of computers have. The ones on the back, I do not recall, to be honest. There's at least two. There may be the three different ports. I don't remember because I haven't used those. But what I normally use, at least as far as the mixer goes, and again, I just had it out the other day. No, I don't see it. Is a USB. It's audio interface to USB. Okay. So the mixer is going from composite audio, left and right, red and white jacks, into the USB adapter, and then audio into there. And I may have had it too hot because I did notice it was turned all the way up. So that could have been part of the problem, but it wasn't what was causing the buzz, because I was not using that at all when I was using the Blue Yeti microphone. So anyway, that's part of the issue, is just right now removing the mixer altogether. There's a lot of videos that say good things about this mixer and don't have buzz. I have not been able to mess with the knobs. That's, by the way, what this means, messing with knobs, to get to the right sound setting, too loud here, too soft here, because you have to mess with, just for one one microphone, there's the main volume, and then there's the gain above that, and then you have the overall gain, but then there's another gain or volume level. So there's so many, and so I've been trying to mess with all of them to find that sweet spot, and I don't have a ton of time to devote to messing with that type of thing. I was hoping that it would be easier. I have not yet found it. So right now I've removed that, and I'm testing out both of these. The price difference, this Blue Yeti here is about $110 to $115, depending on where you get it. I got it at Best Buy because I wanted to pick it up, bring it home, and get it. I wanted the blacked out version because it looks nice. This is the blue version. It looks nice as well. So as far as visually goes, I think it looks fine.
From here, it looks black.
You're just seeing the tip. The top part, the grill, is black.
Oh,
but the body and base that it's standing on is blue, kind of a darker royal blue, but not navy blue. And the buttons and knobs and base, the very far base that sits on the table, is black as well. But yeah, there is a blacked out where it is top down, all black, and it looks pretty sharp. But again, in the same price, by the way, you can get it for $120, $119 on Amazon or so forth. I almost bought it at Best Buy, but it had Assassin's Creed or something with it, and then it ended up being like $140, and I'm not going to play that game, so I didn't want to spend that. So that's why I ended up with this particular color. And they have the regular gray, which is very similar to this, just not shiny. So they have various color options with this. So, by the way, does the Neewer, by the way. There's a blue base with a gold top, the grill. There's your standard black. There's a standard gray. So there's some variations in color there as well, if that's something that matters to somebody. I did want the orange. It's not as shiny as the picture showed. But, again, I got it more for the audio. The orange I just thought would add a little bit of color to this rather dull surroundings that I've draped around me right now.
It's a little dark.
Yeah.
So now question. Sorry. The audio quality for both of them, you said, at least seems roughly the same, but you have them further apart. Do you notice you get more room noise with the Blue Yeti? Because normally when you have something closer, the Audio Technica one that I have, which I don't have here with me today, I have to get really close to my mouth, but the benefit to that is also I don't get the room noise. This room probably has a lot of echo. It's really thin carpet, and the rest is just bouncy wall stuff. I can even hear the echo. Hopefully the mic can't too much. But so if you set it further away like that Blue Yeti is, have you not noticed any issues with echo or any other room noise, people talking outside the room?
That's one benefit to the cardioid, is it does a little bit of canceling.
Sound rejection.
I'm hoping it's still recording. Yes, it is good. Okay, I'm using a remote application on an iPad Mini 2, and then it just went blank and said reconnect, and I did. It's recording. We're good.
Okay, good.
I don't normally have this. It did it again, but I don't normally have the Blue Yeti this far away. As a matter of fact, just before we started recording, I had it on this arm right here. Because there is on the bottom of the Yeti, you can remove it from its base and connect it to this here. But then I was like, well, that only gives me one recording, and things tend to drop when I only have one. That's the benefit to having, why I use the lav mic into the camera before, is what I wanted a second source. Even if it wasn't great audio, I wanted something just in case my computer froze and I didn't get the audio because normally I'm using Audacity. Right now I'm using this Yeti into the MacBook Pro 2011 and just recording audio. I don't hear the fan. That was me checking for the fan, by the way. I wasn't having a stroke. And I'm using Audacity. So if something were to freeze here, I'd have it in a video file, or vice versa. You just have a black screen, and then I'd have the audio from Audacity. For instance, if it did stop, maybe we can even talk about that at some point, what I'm doing here, not on this video, but we got a little weird little dance to get this remote working. Ugh, I need to get my act together. All this is pointing to I'm a hot mess, as they say. And then I'm beforehand sneezing, I'm sniffing. Yeah, oh yeah, I don't hear it, but so long as I say it, that's all that matters.
There it is.
But anyway, yeah, sound quality between the two. This has a little richer sound, so it adds a little bit more bass, but not like distorted bass. Yeah, in my opinion, just makes my voice sound a little bit better. Yeah. This one right here, without the, I'll call it a pop filter again. That's not really what these are called.
Sure.
With this, it sounds a little, I'll use the word richer, more closer to what this sounds like. It's a little bit higher without it. I guess this blocks a few things. Hey, there we go. That sounds intelligent. It sounds a little bit different with it on than it does with it off. I do like the looks of it with it off, and that's why I left it off.
I do too.
And that's another reason. What's that?
I think it looks better with it off as well. It's a good looking microphone. I've seen them online. There's a couple podcasters who I don't know if they're any good. They might be like us, just starting out and rambling about nothingness. But a couple of them have tested that one. There's this one guy. He has it's a fairly popular channel. I find him kind of annoying, but a lot of people find me annoying. So there you go. But his whole channel is about building like a podcast dynasty or promoting yourself online or whatever else. And so he has a few videos of what to do to get started. Use your iPhone or your Android phone or tablet even to shoot the video because you already have it. Why not? Here's a light to get. How about a shop light? Just set it a little further away. There you go. You probably already have something like that in your garage. But when it comes to microphones, you almost always have to go buy one just to get the proper audio because the built-in stuff, if you're one of those persons who's recording that direction and if it's this close to you, then it'll sound okay because you've got just 6 inches that you're talking to. But anything like this to where, I'm right now probably 7 feet away from the camera, 6 feet away from you. So you need something to bring you closer. He actually recommends that newer microphone to get decent introductory audio. There's obviously stuff that's more expensive. I'll be using a microphone hopefully soon. I think we talked about it before we started. That it's a high-end microphone, $1,000 or more, brand new, I believe. And there's sound rejection. You talk into the top of it. It's an XLR condenser microphone, needs 48-volt phantom power to run. It's beautiful to look at. It's very similar shape to the newer there, but it's all kind of a brass color-ish. And it's an old one.
It's a top-firing microphone, I believe.
Yeah.
The one you're talking about, yeah.
But anyways, that one gets good review. The Blue Yeti, the Yetis are across the board considered pretty good, but also considered slightly pricey for what you're getting.
Yeah.
It's like the monster microphone, it's right. They're good products, but you could probably drop it, maybe not in half, but close. And then you're getting a little better, when it comes to the quality with what you're getting. I've had it was the same company.
Snowball?
Yeah, Snowball, but it was the webcam microphone mix. I could never get the webcam portion to work, but man alive, we sounded great. We used it for FaceTime and other video stuff when my my Mac Mini was plugged into my TV. That used to be my media center for the house. And so we would make FaceTime calls with it and a few other things, Skype calls to those that didn't have FaceTime. And it worked great, plugged into the TV, everything was fine. But the picture quality was always a bit on the bleh side. But everybody else said we sounded great. So, it's got a good history there. I don't know if I'd be dropping, anything more than $100 on that microphone. But I like my system here to be portable. I'd like to upgrade a lavalier. if it's going to stay portable, I don't have the luxury of another mic stand, boom, to plunk in front of me.
Right.
So, that's my issue here. You're kind of in a contained area. So, yeah, getting something like that. Although, man alive, that Neewer at $20, that's tempting.
Yeah, I'll tell you some things that I noticed. One thing, and that's the Saramonic that we'll talk about here, probably the next episode or so. There are some benefits that the Blue Yeti gives out of the box, granted with the higher price, that you don't get here. You can get this by itself with the cable, even with this shock mount. It's not called a shock mount. What's it called? It's supposed to
I'd call it a shock
prevent
mount.
From making noise. Okay, there we go. Shock mount. It came with that at that $17, and I'm looking right here, $20 for basically the same thing.
Okay.
And maybe the 17 one is still on there, but I just wanted to look real fast. But what you don't get is something that give you the phantom power. It needs that 48 volts. Sorry for the sniffing, guys. I've been sneezing my head off here. That's another thing in my future is a cough button, and I'll probably have it mashed most episodes, so you guys don't have to hear me. Bryce will have to hear me, but everybody else will have to hear me.
Price I got.
Yeah. So you won't get that power straight out of this. You'll need something to give it power, whereas you have that here because it's getting it over USB. Mm-hmm. Also the gain. If you want to adjust the gain right now, if you want to adjust the gain, you're doing this or you're doing that.
That's called analog gain right there.
Yes, yeah. Whereas with the Saramonic, it's got a gain adjustment on it. This right here on the back, there's two knobs. One knob adjusts the type of audio that it's capturing. Again, cardioid, stereo, front, back, or room. I don't think the last one's called room, but I don't remember what it's called. But then the top knob is gain. And it's pretty powerful. At this distance away, I think I'm at probably, and I don't even know why I'm saying this because it's a complete guess. I've changed it about 4 times before we started recording. I think it's about 40% is where I'm putting it at. Bryce is like, it'd be nice if you probably look and have some actual information. But I know it's below 50%. And the reason I'm not picking it up and turning it around, because that's another downside to it, is it rests right on the table. And if you tap the table, if you touch the microphone, and there is a little mute button on front, but if you touch that mute button, it's not a touch. It is a button. The audio will hear that.
Oh, okay.
But anyway, so you get those benefits here on the Blue Yeti that you don't get with this newer microphone. You can buy it in the $30 range with the microphone, the cable, in some cases the arm, the spring arm that you can attach to a table, and a 48 volt phantom power box made by Neewer.
Okay.
And I almost got that, but because I wanted that smart rig to go, that is, by the way, XLR. It doesn't give you the bridge to go to a mobile device that the smart rig does. It is just gives it power. It expects you to have access to 12 volt. Yes, the phantom power.
Classes
one from Neewer. That you can get other interfaces as well, but it just gives the microphone power.
Okay.
But it is expecting you have a 12 volt, wall socket somewhere nearby.
Mm-hmm.
But anyway, so that is I suppose a drawback. But if you have things that'll give it power, like I had the mixer, so I didn't need to buy that.
Yeah.
Then you can get away at $17 to $20 for what I would say is a very good microphone.
Yeah. Good. Well, let's stop there. We're at 24 minutes almost. And maybe do some more testing with that Saramonic as well as the microphones. I guess the Blue Yeti won't go through the Saramonic because it's USB. But
right.
If you have time, what I think would be nice is to throw up another video that is just specifically about those mics. Maybe set them up side by side and then do some tests as you're talking, maybe reading something. And then you're kind of switching back and forth between the two sources. And then we could put some text on the screen that says, here, you're listening to the Neewer now. Okay, now the Blue Yeti. Maybe even throw one of your old mics in there just for clarification, just to kind of see where we came from, where we're going. Because even if no one else watches and gets any benefit from it, I will. We have at least 5 people who watch regularly. They watch at least 3 to 4 minutes. Maybe they'll watch that portion, and they could get some benefit of it. But I think that'd be a good idea. Again, if you can find the time to do it, and then you can talk a little more specific about the Saramonic, why you got it, and then what specifically what it does. Because you mentioned it a few times, you kind of got into almost about what the whole reason for having it was, and you didn't quite get there. I've got a ceremonic piece of property that I'm wanting to buy, and it's similar idea to yours, but it's a little bigger. It's basically the big boy of what you got, and I'll explain why I want that one later on as well. But after I buy it, because I want to buy it, play with it, use it, and then go from there. But all right. So anything else that you want to throw in?
No, not right now.
Okay, good. Thanks for that information, and look forward to the other video. Well, maybe we'll even upload it separate from the episodes here. It'll be just a kind of a fill-in video in the middle of the week or something. So look out for that. It'll be posted on the same channel, and we'll see everybody in episode 20. Ciao.
See you.